Hey everyone, and welcome back to another speed build. And if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and joining us for this hidden fairy cottage that we are building in Windenburg to begin with. I decided to build this on the Cottage MC lot. It is a 20 by 15, and then we will be traveling to the Sylvan Glade. This is one of the secret lots originally found in Willow Creek with base game. You can find it in the Foundry Cove neighborhood. I personally just love this tree, very my style, very vibrant and whimsical. It's just such an adorable tree to have as the entrance of our fairy cottage. So yeah, we are just building and placing a bunch of landscaping around to make it look very full and yeah, just a beautiful entrance. I do end up adding a pond to the left side to just really fill up the space, and it has a cute fountain in it, so it looks really beautiful when you're in live mode and your sim is just entering. It's such a beautiful space. I personally love it. It's not that important of a space, it's strictly for the center tree, but of course I really wanted to just fill it up with a bunch of landscaping and just make it look beautiful yet hidden at the same time. I do end up adding a cute little owl into the tree as well, and then just went ahead with that fairy statue, of course, to go in theme with the fairy cottage that we will be building. So, and here I am just adding that pond. I had to flatten the terrain back down to make it look like it wasn't floating, and then of course just covered it in different flowers and bushes to make it blend in with the rest of the space. I enjoyed this one because it had those purple flowers already in it. And of course, Sylvan Glade is primarily pink and purple in tone, so I thought it would be really nice to just incorporate that to the, let's say, exterior of this property, because we still have a whole nother one to do. I just thought it'd be a nice addition to include, because technically this is the entrance of the property. You can only get to it from this tree, so yeah, I just thought it would be nice to have this in there. And if you didn't know how to get to this lot at all, or if you've never been or didn't know it existed, I just thought I'd show you how. So now we are entering the tree to go to Sylvan Glade. My sim has already made a relationship, like I said, with the tree, so you can just enter it and travel directly to the location. But here we are starting off with the exterior shell. I thought it would be really cute to have a one-story with a little bedroom bump out in the back. And then as I was building, I quickly discovered I wouldn't have enough space for everything that I wanted, so I ended up doing an outhouse just to the left side of the property, moving the house over a little bit to the right, and then the little circle story upstairs is strictly for skill building and just personal entertainment, really. I love that space. I think it came together beautifully in the end, and I'm just so excited to show you guys. But anyway, now we are working on the exterior brick here. I did originally want a wraparound deck around this portion, but with the limited space, I didn't want to just have the outdoor space just mainly decking, so we went with a little smaller side and just went with a few darker tones for the exterior here. I did add a few pops of color with the accents, of course, and I love that large window. I added one to the front and back. I just think they're really cute for a mystical fairy cottage hidden here in the woods. But now we're just placing around a few windows. These windows took me forever to figure out which ones I wanted. I ended up going with the really rustic ones. I didn't leave those tall ones in the back at all. And I don't even think I put any others on there because I have that large circle window in the back and I have a glass ceiling as well. So there's plenty of light in that space. But now we are using these large flowers on the exterior. I don't usually use these because I find them extremely hard to place, but for this fairy cottage, they just blended beautifully into that circular window on the top there. And of course, just using some of the sparse ivy here and the thicker ones to really fill up the space. I love that little hanging window flower placement. I usually just add it to the top to make it kind of look like it's just hanging down. And I do end up adding a candle making station on the porch and just a few seating spaces and things like that. So there's plenty of things to do out here. And to the left side, there's a flower arranging table and a bunch of different activities she can do, as well as the outhouse out here. So I wanted to make the space look as inviting as possible and really blend in with this surrounding beautiful lot of Sylvan Glade. Why do I keep saying Sylvan? It's Sylvan Glade. There's no I. But yeah, now we are beginning to place down all these flowers and different shrubs around the property here. The right side is mostly landscaping. I do add a huge tree bark to make it look like it's coming out of the base of the tree. I don't know, I thought that was really cute. And I add a bunch of little mushrooms. I do end up adding the pink and blue ones just to really contrast each other and give it a lot of vibrance, because this world is so bright already. As you can see, there is a pinkish hue as I'm filming. That doesn't go away, that is there permanently, but I don't know, I've watched a few other videos and mine isn't as bright, which I like actually. I do enjoy the hue, it's a little bit different and it really goes with the fairy theme that we were going with. But if you were to download this lot, I'm sure you could place it somewhere else. I don't think it's strictly here if you don't like the pink, but I personally just thought it was perfect for a fairy, and yeah, so that's where I decided to build today, and it's really different. It's not just a generic build, so I enjoy doing these ones. But as I'm talking here, I went ahead with raising a little bit on the right side to make it a little hilly, and I tried to do some terrain paint, but because of the hue in this lot, it doesn't really show up properly, so I just kept it the green and then just covered it up with a bunch of shrubs, rocks, and mushrooms, things like that. The left side, I do take away that terrain paint as well because I have to move the house over to the right, and yeah, it just didn't work. So that does change, and here I am putting in that root. Oh, I just love it so much. I think it's so cute and just really adds to the right side because it's pretty empty over there. I ended up putting a barbecue and seating area in the backyard space later on, so you'll see those in the screenshots, and then added a back door to this little cottage. I don't know, I just didn't want the whole property to be all flowers, but she does have this entire space in it's technically like a little mini world, so she can go to the fishing pond, there's a waterfall, a bunch of trees and little plants she could probably find around as well. So I kind of went in theme with that with this little porch area. I added a couple planters, that flower arranging table. Those will move over as well when I move the house over later on, but I thought, of course, this little string light would be really cute for this. I just think string lights are adorable for fairies, and yeah, it was just perfect for this house. So it does get added here. And then to the left, I added that cute little lantern that's also made of wood. So kind of went in theme with that with a little hanging chair on the porch. I do end up putting that little butterfly one up on the porch later on as well, because the other one wasn't functional because the roof isn't out enough, so it kind of hangs a little weird, but I made it work. But now, as you can see, I moved the house over, took away that terrain paint, and now I'm just moving everything back to try to make room for this outhouse that I'm going to build here. I really wanted it to be lined up with the string lights, so I will be moving those over and just kind of encasing everything around it to make it a really lovely space, even though it is a washroom area. But now we are going ahead and adding the roof and different things like that to the exterior of the outhouse. I just clicked Shift C and it gave me a bunch more options to really curve this roof out. And like I said in my last video, I really like that look for cottagecore or fairycore styles of homes. I just think it adds a bit more texture and just makes them look a little bit, I don't know, different and not as boxy. So yeah, that's what I did for this style of home. But now we're just choosing a door for the outhouse. I went with a circular one, I believe, for all the doors on this property. I just thought they were really cute for the theme, and then just adding an open window to the back. I do end up changing this roof style out. I didn't like the peaked one. I just went with one that was kind of closed at the front. I don't know, I just thought it looked a little better on the property. And now I am just moving some plants to the side because when I tried to enter the outhouse here, they were all kind of just brushing up against the walls. You'll see it in a moment when I zoom in a bit more. Here we go. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of move those around the backyard to really make it nice and open and not have any of those really peeking in. But now I'm just adding a cute little pathway. I do encase it with a little garden side on the left of that pathway. Later on, you will see that, but now we are in the bathroom area. I just went with an open shower, little tap on the wall there, and just switching out this toilet to more of a rustic one for a cottage look. I think that one's a country themed one, so I just added that. And trying to choose a carpet and such for the little accents, and oh, I love that one. That's from the Outhouse CC that I downloaded. I think Deligracy just did a video on that, so if you want to check out all the CC items from that pack, definitely go check out her video. It was really good and really explained everything that's in it, but I will be adding a few of those decor pieces around. I believe that towel rack is from the pack as well. I don't know, it's a really beautiful pack and I love it, so you will be seeing a lot of that throughout this build. It was my first time using it, so I really wanted to utilize what I could, and I think it just came out really cute for this fairy inspired cottage. But now we are in the kitchen area. As you can see, I went with a bluish style wall with a wooden trim that kind of matched the floor area. And again, with those country kitchen counters, one of my favorites. I was going to also use the sink from the kit, but then I thought of the laundry day sink and just thought it fit a little bit more nicely in this space. And here I go with the upper cabinets. It always takes me a little bit of time to figure out where exactly I want them placed, but in the end, I just ended up going with the 3 there. I do end up deleting that second rack of dishes just to really showcase those curtains. I love those ones. Those are also CC, but yeah, I love the beaded curtains. They just kind of go with the paranormal pack, and I use those in the opposite room here for the living room, so they just kind of matched and again went with the theme. And now I'm just quickly cluttering up the countertop area. I tried to add a coffee machine to this build, but just didn't fit right for what I wanted, so ended up going back with my classic tea machine there. I had originally wanted to place the nifty knitting rug in the kitchen area, but it was just too bright with the pink tone that went along with this lot, so I do end up changing it to a more neutral toned one later on. You will see that later, but now I'm just trying to figure out the table placement. I really wanted it to kind of match the kitchen countertops, so I just went with that circular one and just went with 3 mismatched chairs. I thought that would be really cute for this build. And that little antler one there, oh, it's so adorable. That is from the Outhouse file as well. And there is just so many cute interior options for that. You will see a lot of the clutter items as well. There's like teapots, different casserole dishes, stuff like that. You will see in the screenshots that is all from that pack as well. So definitely recommend downloading it. I will leave the link to the Patreon down in the description, but it is free to download as of now anyway, so definitely go get on that. But now we are moving on into this little living room area. I just thought it was super cute to have it right off the dining room. I will have to move that dining room table over because I end up placing a ladder just on the back wall to fully access the activity room upstairs. But as you can see, I just added a little fireplace to the right side and had to shift over that love seat a little bit. I wanted this nice wooden table as well, so had to make room for that, of course. I did keep that little love seat, or not the love seat, the little stool at the end of the table and just really cluttered it up with a few different items, and it just looks adorable. I love this space in the end, and it's fully functional. I did playtest and everything does work. I'm very happy with that because it is such a small, tight little space. But now I am just adding a few different pictures around the rooms here to, I don't know, just go with the fairy theme and just a lot of flowers, butterflies, different things like that. And just of course adding a room. You can kind of see when I'm zooming in and out that little backyard space as well with the barbecue, and see the little flowers on the wall. I just think it's such a cute little space, and of course the front door has fairy lights all on the outside. This was such a fun little house to build. I'm so happy that I did a little vote, and I was gonna do either a farm or a fairy cottage, and very happy that you guys voted fairy cottage because this was one of my favorites to do, and I just loved it. But now I'm just quickly adding a bookshelf, some curtains, and a little rug there. I think I layered the rugs to just give it a more raised look. I love how it turned out, and here I am just placing the little ladder to the upstairs of the house and then just angling the table. Everything still does work, which is really great, and you can kind of see the additional clutter that I've added in the kitchen as well. So yeah, now we are in the bedroom. I do end up changing out the wallpaper because it was just a little too dark for what I wanted, so you will see that switched out. But yeah, now it's just a nice white wall with a bunch of flowers that'll add later on the surrounding walls, so it does get covered up anyway. And then I just layered these two carpets. I just thought they were super cute for this space. Added a little knitting basket, and I used this little corner nook for her computer stand. I just love using that space for computers. It's just a little tucked away space, and it's fully functional. And then I just used this cute little wicker chair. I love them for these kind of builds, and just placed a little laptop. But to finish off this space, I'm just adding a couple candles to the nightstand and then going ahead with the vine work on the walls. I just thought it went really nice with the trim for this room, and it just filled up the white blank space really nicely. I do end up adding an easel in this room as well. But now we are upstairs in the final room of the build. I just decided to do this as a little craft room for her, just to give it the illusion that she comes up here to do some sewing or just hang out. I did add a violin and a banjo as well to the space. And on that little craft shelf in the back, I do end up adding a little speaker, so this could be like a little musical hangout room, or if she was sewing up here, she could just listen to music and just really enjoy the space. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this build, you guys. I'm just going to be placing a couple more clutter pieces and adding a couple pictures and stuff like that before the screenshots start playing, so I'm gonna end the voiceover here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little hidden fairy cottage we built today. If you did, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And if you stayed to the end, I appreciate you even more. You guys are the best. But yeah, as always, I will see you very shortly in the next one. Have a great day. Bye for now.